What's going on, YouTube family? This is your man Pristine, back with another video. Here before you, I've got the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Highly anticipated foldable device. I passed up on the Z Fold 6 because I knew that this device was coming soon, and honestly, I was more of a fan of the Pixel Fold than the Galaxy Z Fold 5. Main reason being that external display. I really like the form factor of the Pixel Fold. I like the fact that you didn't really have to open that device if you didn't want to. Yes, it's nice to open it up and you've got that big display to view your content. But it was just something about that outer display that really made me feel more like I was using a conventional smartphone. Now, I'm not saying that the outer display on the Z Fold is bad, but it's kind of thin, it's narrow, you know, and it's a bit of a different aspect ratio. And after a while, I mean, you get used to it, but then for me, I felt like it wasn't, I adjusted to it. But when I got the Pixel Fold in my hand, then that was just like, yes, it was like the phone was giving me something that I was missing as far as the form factor that it possesses versus the external display form factor for the Z Fold series. So I decided to hold off and grab this knowing that it was coming. Now it's here. Got it here for you on Pristine Mobile Tech. In typical fashion, ladies and gentlemen, you know how I do. So yeah, get your popcorn, snacks, drink of choice. You know, and let's go for a ride here. You know, I'm gonna, heavily scrutinize the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Talk a little bit about the, specifications, features, functions, go over the hardware, play around with the software a little bit, get into the camera, take some sample photos, go down the camera options and so forth, just to, cover as much as I can, just to kind of, give you an informed decision if this device is something that you'd like to commit to. All right, and it is a commitment because this phone is not cheap at all whatsoever. So speaking of price, let's just start there. So this is the 256 gigabyte variant. There's a 256 gig variant, which is what this is, and then there's a 512 gig variant. The price point for this guy right here is $1,799.99. With tax, this ran me, because I'm in the state of Washington, tax is 9.5%. So it was like $1,900 and some change after taxes. It's insane. It's ridiculous. Now, the 512 gig variant is going to run you a cool $1,919.99. All right, so for sure, plus tax. I mean, depending on where you are, I mean, this is going to take you over $2,000 for a phone. And you have to ask yourself, is this particular device worth it to you? Especially considering that the whole Pixel 9 series. You got the Pixel 9, the Pixel 9 Pro, and the Pixel 9 Pro XL. A lot of similarities across the board. No real differences as far as the specifications on this one, as far as like the chipset that they're using. Yes, this has more RAM, but you're going to get a similar experience, across the board with any of the Pixel 9s that you get. This one just so happens to fold, so yeah, those are the prices, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what does those prices get you? Got to start off with the external display. Okay, the external display is a 6.3 inch, 160 millimeter Actua 1080p by 2424 pixel OLED display. That's a PPI pixel density of 422. We have a smooth variable refresh rate up to 120 hertz. We've got Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2, which is the display glass. We have brightness up to 1800 nits via HDR, peak brightness of 2700 nits. Phone being that bright, you should not have any issue viewing the content on the display with the device being that bright. Now, those are the specifications for the external display. Now, the internal display, when you open up this device, we've got an 8-inch, 204 millimeter Super Actua Flex LTPO display with a resolution of 2076 by 2152. This is an OLED smooth display as well, with a refresh rate ranging from 1 to 120 hertz. Now we've got ultra thin glass on the front, 373 PPI pixel density, up to 1600 nits HDR, and then up to 2700 nits peak brightness. Now the hinge has also been reinforced with the multi-alloy steel hinge with an aerospace grade high strength aluminum alloy cover. So yeah, you know, Google is really trying to ensure that this device is nice and durable. All right, now the interior specifications, the innards, the guts. We've got the Google Tensor Chip 4G system on a chip, SoC 5mm chipset, 5G chipset, with Titan M2 security co-processing. This is the 256 gig variant, but as I mentioned, you can get 256 or 512 gigs for storage, 16 gigs of RAM for either storage configuration, and this is running Android 14 fresh out of the box. Android 15 is probably going to be coming soon, and I'm pretty sure that these Pixel devices are going to be the first to get those. Kind of curious to know why this didn't roll out with Android 15, given the fact that it's literally right around the corner, but hey, it is what it is. Now, for the cameras, we have a dual camera setup, and this is what the camera array looks like on the rear of this device, and that's a pretty serious camera hump. You know, when I get the device out of the box, then I'll tilt it to the side just so that you can see how far this camera hump protrudes. Some that may be a bother, others not so much. We have a 48 megapixel quad PD wide lens with an aperture of f1.7. This is an 82 degree field of view wide lens. We've got a 10.5 megapixel dual PD ultra wide sensor with autofocus. This is an f2.2 aperture with a 127 degree field of view. And then we've got a 10.8 megapixel telephoto lens with an aperture of f3.1. This is a 23 millimeter field of view, 23 degree field of view. And this is featuring 5x optical zoom and then super res zoom up to 20 times. And the rear cameras are featuring multi-zone LDAF sensor, spectral and flicker sensor, optical and electronic stabilization on the wide and telephoto lenses. We've got 4K recording at 24, 30, or 60 FPS, 1080p at 30 or 60 FPS, and just a whole slew of features and functions. I mean, if you want to get the whole gist of what this camera can do, then I would just Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold, and it's going to take you, to Google's website where you can order it, and just click on tech specs, and it's going to give you a complete rundown of all the camera features, and it is a very, very, very long list. I'd be here all night reading that stuff off to you, and so don't want to. I'm going to spare you that. because these videos be long enough. But yeah, if you want to know everything that this camera does, then yeah, I would visit Google's website and take a look at it there. It's a very robust list of features that this camera does. Now, the front camera on the front of the device is a 10 megapixel dual PD f2.2 aperture with a field of view of 87 degrees. And then the inner camera, when the device is open, on the right screen, there is a camera at the top as well. And it's the same as the external display camera. 10 megapixels, f2.2 aperture, 87 degree field of view. Yeah, that's about it for the cameras. Now, battery life, we've got a 4,650 milliamp hour non-removable battery. This has fast charging capabilities of 45 watts. We do have wireless charging. I didn't see anything that says anything about reverse wireless charging or reverse or power share. Not exactly sure if this phone has that feature. You would think a phone that costs this much would have all the things. But who knows? Maybe it does have that feature. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to test it. Google is claiming 24 hours plus on the battery life. Obviously, USB Type-C 3.2 for that quick charge OTG on the go. Now, the dimensions, we have, when this device is folded, oh, pardon me. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 11:03 p.m. and I've been up since 3 a.m. So, pardon my yawns. Yeah, I'm pretty tired, so I'm gonna try to power through this thing and get her done. But the dimensions, folded, it's a 6.1 inch height. 6.1 inch by 3 and width. Geez, now I can't read my own handwriting. My goodness. Okay. Yeah, whatever. The dimensions aren't important. The colors that you can get this device in is porcelain white and obsidian black. Now, the additional features are, we've got Google VPN at no extra cost. And I like that is within the features on Google's website. So that's good to know. We got, VPN services with no additional cost. We've got IPX8 water resistance, 7 years of OS security and pixel drop updates. All the biometrics, under display fingerprint sensor, facial recognition, passwords, codes, all those types of things, the usual suspects as far as the biometrics. We've got enhanced safety features. And what I mean by that is it was a lengthy list. And so I took a photo of it with my trusty iPhone 15 here. Let me see. Okay. So, now for the enhanced safety features, y'all sound off in the comments and let me know if this sounds familiar. But the advanced safety features consist of satellite SOS, emergency SOS, car crash detection, safety check, emergency location service, emergency contacts and medical info, Android earthquake alerts system. Does that sound familiar? Anyone? Wonder where I heard that before. Satellite SOS, emergency SOS, car crash detection. Whose playbook did Google tear that out of? But whatever. It is what it is. You know, these companies, they all copy one another, and you know, it's just good to have these, you know, the more devices that have those features, the better, because that just broadens the range of devices that you can get that are gonna, you know, feature those functions. So you don't necessarily have to have an iPhone in order to, you know, take advantage of those features. All right. So those are what the enhanced safety features consist of. We've got dual SIM or eSIM capabilities, stereo speakers, spatial audio, Wi-Fi 7. We've got Bluetooth V5.3, NFC. Now this device, because I got it from Verizon, is the 5G millimeter wave and sub-6 5G with 6 gigahertz. Gemini built in, and I'm still trying to decipher between the differences between Gemini and the Google Assistant. Does Gemini does more, or you know, both of these both of these pardon me, are on the device, and so I'm like, is one gonna filter out the other? Is Gemini supposed to be the replacement, a better version of, you know, Google Now, or, you know, Hey Google, you know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know. I mean, it's, I don't want to say it's confusing, but I'm just like, okay, is, you know, the way we typically use Google Now being phased out for Gemini? And yeah, I don't know. But I'm gonna do some more research on that, and I have more information for you on that during the pristine review of this device. But then, of course, you know, this phone is very AI rich, as most phones are in 2024. A lot of these presentations are riddled with nuances and AI capabilities, and apparently they are all through and through the Google Pixel 9 series, and that proves to be true here for the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold. All right, yeah, try saying that 10 times in a row. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, so that is the spec list for what your hard-earned cash is going to get you. Now, if you look at this box here, you're going to tell that, I mean, I like the presentation, right? Pretty slick presentation. But what's not slick is the fact that you just paid all that money for this, and that 45-watt charging brick that is a separate accessory. Yeah, that, why isn't that in here, Google? Why isn't that in here? Yeah, that's insane to me. But you know, the presentation, I mean, it's nice, right? Like I mean, kudos, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I like it. Premium boxing. Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold, little Google logo there. Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold on the right side of the box, and then underneath it, you're gonna have, you know, your IMEI information, serial number, all that jazz. On the back here, we've got Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold, 5G millimeter wave and sub-6 Obsidian, which is the color, which is that black. So that's how the phone looks. And let's just go ahead and get it out the BizOx and see what it is. You know, somebody. Okay, so that just slides off like so once you get the tabs off. All right. Okay, and here we are, ladies and gentlemen. And we are presented with our shiny new Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold, wrapped up real nice. Wow, this feels, it's got a little bit of heft to it, but it's really thin. I like that. I like how thin that is. Okay. There's that camera hump, and so we'll boom. Here we are, ladies and gents. This is our device. Wow, that, you know, I wonder if Google tapped in with Microsoft, since it's not clear if the Surface Duo is dead, but this is giving me Surface Duo vibes, especially with how thin this device is. I mean, this is crazy. This is nuts. Now, like I said, the phone's got, you know, some heft to it for sure. Let's go ahead and close it. Oh yeah. And just, ladies and gentlemen, that aspect ratio right there, the what is this? 6.3. And my iPhone 15 here, I like so much because it's 6.1. You know, it's just like that sweet spot for me, especially given the fact that I'm 5'3", about 120 pounds, soaking wet, probably less than that. And this work, the size and the form factor works. And so, you know, having a foldable, you know, they can be a little hefty and cumbersome at times. And so, you know, with it this thin, I mean, look at this. I mean, just with it closed, I mean, it's almost about as thick as the iPhone. And this is a dual layer device. I mean, when it's closed, I mean, so go ahead and power it on, and there we go. And there's that hinge that's been reinforced. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and put that aside momentarily, and we have a charging cable, and we have the G.dot code pixel support, so you scan that QR code if you need some support. We've got our Google SIM pin and quick start guide, all that jazz, right? And I'm just going to leave all this stuff as is because I have chargers, and we're gonna get back to the device. I can tell right now, I really like the haptic engine. You know, just as the little ball is bouncing right there, you can feel, like right there, you can feel the vibration. I mean, that's just typical Pixel stuff. I mean, that's for any Pixel you get. But I can tell the way this thing is rumbling, that haptic engine is no joke. And it should be, you know, top grade. I mean, given the price of this, so everything about this device should be premium. There should be nothing that should be cheap looking, cheap feeling. I mean, you spend $2,000 on a device, I mean, it better be the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme, homie. You know, somebody, yeah. Yeah, so the external display, corner to corner, 6.3 inches. To the right of the device, we've got antenna lines there. You see those? We've got the volume rockers, the power button right there. Up top, we've got what appears to be a noise canceling mic. Antenna lines right there. Here's our 5G antenna right underneath the upper speaker. Okay, it's right there. Another antenna line. Bottom of the device, we've got antenna lines here and here. Noise canceling mic here and here. Type-C port, speaker grill, and then there is our SIM tray right there. So a lot going on the bottom of this device. Okay, and then when we open the device, Then you can see we've got that that nice 8-inch corner to corner OLED display. Okay, so here I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video for a moment while I go ahead and get things set up, and then yeah, I'll be right back with you, and we'll really dig into this thing. All right, y'all hold it down. All right, y'all, we are back in with the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Went through the whole setup, got everything situated, relatively easy process, nothing to it. You know, if you've had a Pixel device before, you know, same shenanigans as far as how to, you know, transfer data from, you know, your old device to your shiny new Pixel 9 Pro Fold here. So I got everything, you know, set up and customized to my liking. So I am ready to go. I need a case. Probably head down to my local Verizon store tomorrow just to kind of see what cases they have in stock, or maybe I'll take a look online and see what they got. But you know, this is a very, very beautiful device, but I don't want to rock it, you know, booted bucket naked, you know what I mean? Just because this is a really expensive phone, and so I want to make sure that there's some form of protection. But I love the form factor. I love how thin, look how thin this is. Like, this is insane. Like, I swear Google, you know, had to have contacted Microsoft and got the patents for the Surface Duo. I mean, because this is nuts, you know, how thin this thing is. It's a really incredible, you know, piece of tech. And you know, the Z Fold 6 as well, because that's made with titanium now, and you know, those phones are typically bulky, heavy, but the Z Fold 6 is really, really lightweight, and it's really thin as well. So I mean, you know, it's just dope to see, you know, the technologies, hardware, software, all that type of stuff evolving, you know, as time goes on. You know, I still feel personally like folding devices like this here and the Z Fold 6 are the future, because you're basically consolidating phone and tablet, and so I mean, it's a real deal, you know, do-it-all device. You know, you've got a bigger campus if you want to watch media content. If you want, I mean, you can work from this thing. You know, get productivity stuff done, you know, watch movies. I mean, multitask. I mean, you know, just having two different things on different screens. I mean, you know, to me, that is like, you know, true multitasking. I mean, I know that on, you know, typical candy bar styled devices, you know, you can like take your finger and draw like an X or a line across the middle of the display, and it'll, you know, split, you know, the screen, have something up top and the bottom. That's cool, but this is multitasking on another level. And I believe with the Z Fold, you can do up to like 3 things at once. But you know, I never really use that feature. I mean, so it's like when I do multitask, I mean, I always find myself just doing 2 things at a time and just having, you know, something on the left side of the screen and the right side of the screen. So that seems to fit my needs just fine as far as me multitasking, you know, on a device. And just to kind of, you know, speak to that, you know, you could save different app pairs. So like I've got Spotify and YouTube Music. And so we got Spotify over here, and this is Spotify. It's its own thing. Over here we've got YouTube Music, and these are 2 files that I've just got just insane amounts of music playlist. I'm a music, an audiophile for a fact. Music is therapeutic for me in a major way. So yeah, you know, got these 2 apps set up. If I want to do some shopping, you know, the 2 main apps that I normally go to is Amazon and Best Buy. And so I got those apps paired up. And again, new device, I haven't logged into all of my apps, so that's why it's taking me to, the sign-in pages. But you can see, got Amazon on the left side, Best Buy on the right. And you can create, just, app pairs however you want. I mean, basically what you do is, if you have, say, if I open up the Bible app and, I got that open, and then I swipe up from the bottom very lightly to bring up the little bar right there. And let's see, well, go back to the Bible app, swipe, well, you got to be careful with that swipe, because when you're swiping up, that's also the gesture that you got to use to like swipe back to your home page. So you just swipe up really lightly just to bring that up, and then say Spotify, click on it and drag it up, and then it splits the screen for you. So you got Spotify on the left, Bible app on the right. And I mean, you can flip this, if you're using, say the Bible app more so than you're using Spotify, this little white bar right there, you can take that and move the Bible app over so that it's bigger and just kind of minimize Spotify, or, vice versa. You can move that back over to the right. It's not choppy like that. It was just my finger was choppy going across the screen. But yeah, you get the idea. And then it's like, if I swipe up and hold, it says save app pair right there. And so that's how you can save that app pair if that's what you want to do. If not, then you can just go ahead and, swipe them away and take you back to your home screen. So, I mean, for me, I mean, that's pretty much the gist of, how I use this device, how I multitask on this device. Yeah, a very enjoyable experience. It's been a while since I had a foldable, because I traded in my Z Fold 5 a little while ago. And so I've mainly been on the clamshell folding devices, this being my Galaxy Z Flip 6, and then I've got my Nubia Flip 5G, the Moto Razr Plus 2023, the new Moto Razr 2024. I've been going flip phone crazy. Yeah, I mean, this is, I think this could very easily be the best foldable of 2024. Arguably, I mean, I'm pretty sure, the Samsung Knights have something to say about that. But for me, it's just, comfort, ease of use, and not to say that the Z Fold 6 is complicated by any stretch of the imagination. But for me, it's that aspect ratio, and you get used to it. I could use it. It was fine when I had it. But when I got my hands on this, and just, the form factor, just feeling, especially when this is closed and that outer display being wider, it kind of gives you more of that typical a smartphone type of feel. I mean, I really, 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 really like that. And I wasn't quite sure if anything was going to come out, other than the Z Fold 6, because I believe that they kind of, changed the game when they released that device. But yeah, I mean, this doesn't have an S Pen. So, I mean, from a productivity standpoint, there's probably, less things that you could do with this because of the fact that it doesn't have an S Pen. Now, I actually believe that you can get you can buy a third-party stylus for this thing. But it's not going to give you the same experience as the S Pen, because, the S Pen, it's like integrated within the phone, and, you got the pen features, and the phone is Bluetooth, and you can, or the phone and pen connect via Bluetooth. The phone charges the pen. There's different little commands and things that you do from the pen to control the phone, right? That's another level. But if you don't need all that, right? If you don't need all that, nor do you want all that, then, hey, Pixel 9 Pro Fold, I would say, is the way to go. Of course, you got the OnePlus Open out there. I believe that they're making on their second iteration, of the OnePlus Open. I don't know if it's going to be called the OnePlus Open 2. We'll have to find out. But that's out there. There's several folding devices that are out there, but a lot of them aren't really all that easily attainable. You got to get them, shipped from overseas, and then you run the risk of, okay, do they work on the networks that we have over here in the States? And you don't want to pay that kind of money for a device and not be able to use it unless it's connected to Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? And I ran into that problem with importing phones that were super dope. But then it's like I get them over here and they wouldn't work properly with AT&T. They wouldn't work right with T-Mobile. They wouldn't work right with Verizon. And so I was very, limited with some of the things that I can do. And that was just kind of hard for me to put together a full review because I actually use the devices for an extensive period of time so that when I make my full review, I'm coming with some real world usage experience, not just something that I'm just, making up on the fly. And that's one of the main reasons why it takes me so long to put out pristine reviews, because I really spend, time with these devices. And then, I got so many phones. I mean, they sometimes kind of get lost in the shuffle. Yeah, so, those are my initial thoughts, after setup. Now, what we'll do is we'll pop into, I have a little formula here that I just like to follow through. And so what we'll do real quick is we'll just pop down in the settings and we'll go down to about phone. And I love the fact too that when you get into the settings are over here, and then the setting content is over here on the right side. I really like that. So Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Let's see. Android 14. I just like to, confirm that, some people they want to see that. Why this device wasn't released with Android 15, given the fact that it's right around the corner. I believe it's in. Actually, I don't want to misspeak. I'm not entirely sure if it's available for beta testing now. But I know that 15 is coming soon. So, when it launches or when it gets close to launching, then, if you have a Pixel, then more than likely you're going to be, getting that review, or that software before anyone else does. All right. So there's the confirmation as to, the operating system that we are running on. We'll go back to the home screen and check the biometrics. So, before I closed out the video to set the phone up, I said that there was an under display fingerprint sensor, and I had this, this device confused with the other three Pixel 9 devices, that being the Pixel 9, the Pixel 9 Pro, and the Pixel 9 Pro XL. Those devices have an under the display fingerprint sensor. The Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold, however, has the fingerprint sensor on the power key right there. Okay, so wanted to clarify that, and yeah, we'll go ahead and lock the device. And so you just saw that, so that was facial recognition right there. Okay, so the device is locked down. Double tap the display, boom. It just sees my face and it opens right up. Now, I'm gonna close it, and I'm gonna move out of the way. Okay, it can't find me. Okay, so there's the demonstration of the fingerprint sensor. I'll do that again for accuracy. Double tap the display. Oh, come on. Okay, so there's that. It works. I just, my thumb wasn't like, it was like the corner of my thumb was under it as opposed to like the middle of my thumb. But it works. It's fast. It works 100% of the time. I haven't had a problem with it. It was just more so the angle that I was just at here for the sake of consistency. I'll do that again. Let me move my face out of the way. Okay, and there it is. And I think I'll input my index finger as well. I only have my thumb saved for fingerprint scanning, but I think it'll be easier too if I just, especially if I have the phone propped up like this, it'll just be easier just to, touch it here with an index finger and get into the device. So there is the biometrics. Performance, I mean, expect for this device to perform like a champion. Google Tensor G4 chip. This is Google's new processor. It's supposed to be, I think they said 25%. Faster. I don't quote me on that. If I remember correctly, I think it said it was 25% faster than the Tensor G3 chip. Nonetheless, I mean, it is a very smooth performer, especially thus far. I mean, the phone is brand new. I mean, so obviously, we'll have to see, over time, if the phone stands the test of time and if it still will run just as smooth and fluid, after you've had it for a stretch. But yeah, you see things are opening for me nice and quickly. It's not taking a whole lot of time to load things up. You see things are nice and smooth. There's a little bit of a pause as the content is uploading, you know what I mean? But once it uploads, then it's just buttery smooth, very responsive to the touch. I'm barely touching the display. Yeah, and so performs well. I mean, swipe up and hold to get to all the recents, and this reminds me of the Pixel tablet. I mean, essentially that's what it is when this is open like this. Yeah, this phone is, you could do a lot with it. I mean, this could, someone asked me, did I think that, if this phone could replace, an iPad? And I'm like, sure it can, because, iPads, as nice as they are, and they can be compact. Excuse me. My bad, y'all. It's late nights, early mornings, man. It's 12:38 in the morning right now. I've been up since 5 a.m. this morning, so pardon the yawning, but I got, everyone is asleep, and so I've got some quiet time. So sometimes I have to wait to these hours to be able to pump out this content. The fact that you can, this phone is so portable and compact, there's a lot of things that you can do with this device that, a lot of people would do on an iPad. Now, if you're like an iPad Pro user, there's certain things, programs and things that you can put on those things that probably wouldn't be ideal for a smartphone. I mean, but this phone is a beast. I mean, it's got the Tensor G4, 16 gigs of RAM. I mean, so there's not really a whole lot that you can throw at this thing that will cause it to hiccup or stutter. Like it can handle a lot, just with the power that it possesses. And that's one of the reasons why you're paying those premium prices for this thing. But yeah, I'll say that this thing can definitely replace an iPad, just in a sense of portability, pocketability. I mean, good luck trying to put an iPad in your pocket. You can open it up. You've got this 8-inch canvas right here. I mean, it enhances, media content, watching movies. I mean, dual stereo speakers if you want to listen to music through the speakers that are on the device. They sound amazing. I'm Bluetooth everything. I mean, so, whether a wired connection, you'd have to get a dongle because that doesn't come with this, or just go the Bluetooth route. And, we do have, spatial audio on this device. And so, whatever Bluetooth headsets you've got connected, I mean, it's going to be able to, maximize the sound quality of the music, because of the options that the phone is giving you to, customize your music. So, yeah, I mean, web browsing, checking emails, all those things, what I'm saying? I mean, especially if you just have, a Wi-Fi only iPad, you know, if you just have a Wi-Fi only iPad or iPad, and you can only, you know, take it and connect to, you know, places that you go, I mean, yes, this crushes the iPad in a sense, because, you know, this is a phone. It's a phone and a tablet. You know what I mean? So you're always going to have a data connection. You know, wherever you go, wherever there's a Wi-Fi connection, you can connect this to the Wi-Fi so you don't use your data, and you can go ahead and do what you do. Browse the web, emails, whatever you do on your iPad. You know what I mean? You know, most of the things that you do on your iPad, you can do on this thing. So, I mean, in that sense, yes, it can, you know, replace an iPad. It just solely depends on, you know, what you're using these devices for. Yeah, you know, I've got an iPad Pro, and, you know, for a long time it collected dust because of the Pixel Fold 1st Gen and the Z Fold 5. You know, so, you know, I've played with this thing, you know, or devices like it long enough to know their capabilities. And so it's like, you know, if you don't have an iPad, but you got one of these, oh, you ain't missing nothing. I mean, unless you just really are a fan of the iOS operating system. But I mean, aside from that, you ain't missing nothing, man. This thing can do it all. I mean, just like a lot of our smartphones can, but you know, this one is just, you know, it's a foldable, you know, so you can do more. You've got more flexibility, you know, with this device. All right. So now let's pop into the settings. Okay. So starting off, we've got network and internet, mobile Wi-Fi, hotspot, and then we've got all what that entails over here on the right-hand side. Internet, calls and SMS, SIMs, airplane mode, hotspot and tethering, data saver, VPN, private DNS, adaptive connectivity, troubleshoot mobile connection. Okay, now under connected devices, this is where we're going to find Bluetooth and pairing. Okay, we've got pair new device, see all, connection preferences, and this for Bluetooth, NFC, cast, printing, Chromebook, quick share, and Android Auto. And then we have ultra wideband, which helps identify the relative positions of nearby devices that have ultra wideband. So we have that on there as well. Under apps, this is going to keep a tally of your most recently opened apps. We've got default apps, assistant, screen time, cloud media app, unused apps, app battery usage, special app access. And then under advanced, we've got aspect ratio, experimental. Try a new aspect ratio to view an app if it hasn't been designed to fit your Pixel 9 Pro Fold. So yeah, you know, for apps that aren't optimized for, you know, this, you know, bigger display, you know, you can kind of, you know, force it, but it'll give you a warn you that, you know, the app may not play nice, and it may shut down. So, you know, you kind of, you know, mess around with that at your own discretion. If not, then you can just close the device, and that's more of a normal orientation, and the app should work fine, you know, if you're, you know, using whatever that app may be that isn't optimized for the 8-inch display. It probably is optimized for the 6.3-inch display that's on the front while this is closed. All right. Notifications, we've got app notifications, notification history, conversations, bubbles. Under privacy, we've got device and app notifications, notification on lock screen, sensitive notifications. And then for general, we have do not disturb, flash notifications, wireless emergency alerts, hide silent notifications and status bar, allow notification snoozing, notification dot on app icon, enhance notifications, get suggested actions, replies, and more. Okay, you're going to find all that under the notifications tab there. Now we go down to battery. We've got battery usage, battery saver, adaptive battery, or adaptive charging, that's turned on. And what that is basically it'll charge your phone rapidly until the phone reaches a certain percentage. And then once it reaches that percentage, it will automatically slow down on the charging, cool the battery down. You know, a lot of times when your phone is plugged up to the wall charging, you know, it tends to get warm. Sometimes in certain cases it can get really warm. Well, what adaptive charging does is it prevents that, you know, prevents the phone from not just overheating, but it charges down the charging speeds. You know, once it gets, you know, say if the phone is at 10%, you know, once it gets up to 90%, then it'll slow down that rapid charge, which could be what's making your battery hot. And then, you know, it will charge at a much slower pace to get you from that 90% up to 100. And it does, you know, take a little longer for those of you that are just like, hey, I'm not taking my phone off the charger until it's at 100%. I mean, I'm the same way. I mean, you know, I can put my phone on the charger before I leave somewhere, and I'll look at it as I'm taking it off the charger, and it'll say like 98% or something like that. And I'm like, I need that 100. I know that I'll be fine throughout the day with 98 or 97%. But it's just something about that 100 though, you know what I'm saying? It's something about that hundo, you know? So I kind of stall out for like another, you know, 10, 15 minutes if I can, you know, just to see if I can, you know, get that 100% battery life. Then I'm good to go, right? That's just where I like to start at. Yeah, so, you know, battery usage, battery saver, adaptive charging, battery percentage, battery widget, battery diagnostics. Remaining battery life is approximate and can change based on usage. Of course. Okay. So storage. So again, we've got 256 gigabytes total storage. 41 gigs have been utilized. And so I've got 215 gigabytes free, which is, for me, that's an insane amount of storage space. I mean, I would probably do just fine with like a 16 or 32 gig device, to be honest with you. You know, because I just don't do a whole lot on my phone. I don't keep a lot of files. You know, I do download a lot of music, you know, to my devices so I can listen to them offline so it doesn't come out of my data plans. But, you know, I mean, 16, 32 gigs, I mean, 64 gigs, I mean, that's hella music, that, right? That's, yeah, you're talking about playlists, and I've got so many playlists, I mean, but yeah, I mean, that's really the only thing that I, you know, utilize storage for on my devices. I mean, I have like pictures and stuff that I have in the cloud and important documents, stuff like that, but it's not a whole lot to where I would need, you know, 256, 512, you know, a terabyte. Like, I'm just not keeping all that type of stuff on my phones, you know. But for those of you that do, then, you know, you've got the 256 gig variant, and then you've got a 512 gig variant. I do not believe that there is a terabyte variant. If there is, I mean, you probably gonna be paying like $2,500 for that joint, you know. But yeah, so yeah, under storage, it'll say free up space, and this is going to tell you, you know, just what apps are taking the most storage, and then, you know, if you want to clear the cache to kind of free up data space, or storage space rather, you could erase some apps that aren't being utilized. That sort of thing, you know, if you find yourself in a jam and you need additional storage. So yeah, we'll go down to sound and vibrations. I'm loving this. We got, you know, volume rockers for each individual sound, media volume, call volume, ring volume, notification volume, alarm volume. And then you see we've got do not disturb, phone ringtone, live caption, spatial audio, now playing, one of my favorite features in a Pixel. Which is just if you're at a coffee shop or something, there's a song playing in the background, you've never heard it, you don't know the name of the song, you don't know the artist. Well, you look down at the bottom of your display on your Pixel devices, and it's going to tell you the artist, the name of the song, and all that. You can just go ahead and go to it, whether it be Spotify, Apple Music, Prime Music, you know, whatever your streaming service of choice is, and you know, you can, you know, pull up that song and add it to your playlist. So I found it, you know, some cuts. I've put together some real nice playlists just off of just music that have been captured by now playing. And see, those stuff like that is really what makes a pixel. It's also what makes it hard to go away from a pixel, because they spoil you with little things, you know, like that, always on display, the translation, how it translates things, the call, when you're on a phone call and you're talking to an automated system, and the fact that it basically translates everything that the automated system is going to say before the automated system does. Like cool little things like that, now playing, I mean, just those are things that really make a pixel. And it's like, once you get accustomed to those things, I mean, those things are really hard to do without. So it's like, you never know how much you may want or need something until you actually are blessed with that technology and start using it. Then it's like, okay, try to go without it and see how you feel. It may be some unfamiliar territory once you get used to some of these things. So that's under sound and vibration. So, now playing media, vibrations, and haptics, notification, default notification sound, default alarm sound, clear calling. This reduces background noises during calls. And then, of course, the usual suspects, dial pad tones, screen locking sound, charging sounds, and vibration. Tapping, click sounds, always show icon when in vibrate mode. So, yeah. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is everything that we find under the display setting. Now, we'll continue to scroll down. We'll go to wallpaper and style. And this is obviously where we can customize the wallpapers, the style, color schemes, what have you. Of course, we've got the lock screen, home screen. This is just going to give you a quick idea of what the lock screen and home screen will look like based on whatever wallpaper you choose. We have the different color schemes here. You can hit the 3 dots right there to customize the colors of the dots, of the icons rather, and the colors for your theme. Okay, so go out of that, and obviously we have more wallpapers. And the pixel, I mean, create a wallpaper. We have AI wallpapers. Okay, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's about 12 of those. And then we go to emoji workshop. And I believe this is where you can create, an emoji of some sort. Right here it says inspire me. You got emoji patterns. Okay, there's different patterns here. There's mosaic, lotus, stacks, sprinkle, and prism. And then you got colors for you to customize this thing to your little heart's content. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so then under choose a wallpaper, you've got my photos if you want to make just one of your photos your wallpaper. But then you've got all these different categories. We've got swirling petals. Okay, we've got about 4 wallpapers in there you can choose from. Living universe. Any of you that have had a Pixel before, you're familiar with some of these wallpapers. Liverpool FC. Okay, Arsenal FC. Community lens. Those are pretty nice. Those are some nice wallpapers right there. We got curated culture. Some nice artwork that you can choose for your wallpaper. All right, we've got cityscapes. A lot of those to choose from. Very nice photos. All right, we've got life. I like those. Okay, we've got textures. A lot of different textures to choose from. We got landscapes. Seen some of these before. Some nice wallpapers. We got art. Bunch of different artistic wallpapers for you to choose from. Earth, I really like these. All right, bunch of those to choose from. And then we've got Google Arts and Culture. Not as many of those to choose from, but you know, a handful there. Solid colors. And live wallpapers. And we've got Fitbit Steps wallpapers and then Zedge wallpapers. I'm not sure if those are... Zedge is an app where you can download like wallpapers, ringtones, notification tones, all kind of stuff. So I'm not sure if that's on the device by default, or since Zedge is one of the apps that I downloaded into my device, if that's there because of the fact that I've downloaded the Zedge app. But yeah, so those are all the different wallpaper options that you've got to choose from. Now, if we scroll down, we've got themed icons. So if you turn on theme icons, then basically it's just going to replace the icon or turn the icons the same color as your theme. But then in some cases too, it will change the way the icons look. So I just keep that as, well, let's see, like if we, okay, yeah, no, it's home screen. Okay, and then app grid, I have that as 5x5. By default, it's 4x5. But I like to have, you know, 5 apps across, 5 apps going up and down, you see. So yeah, that is everything in wallpaper in style. Then we've got accessibility. Okay, some of the options that we've got for accessibility: for screen reader, we got talkback. By default, that's off. It says speak items on the screen. All right, for display, we've got display size and text, color and motion, extra dim, dim screen beyond your phone's minimum brightness, magnification, it's off by default, zoom in on the screen, select to speak, that's off by default, and it says here selected texts, interaction controls, accessibility menu, voice access, vibration and haptics, switch access, timing controls, system controls. Under captions, we've got live caption, live transcribe, caption preferences, real-time text RTT for short. For audio, we've got audio description, which is hear a description of what's happening on screen in supported movies and shows. Sound amplifier, sound notifications, flash notifications, hearing devices, audio adjustment, and then under general, we've got accessibility shortcuts and text-to-speech output. All right, so those are all the settings for accessibility. So, you know, it's if you're, you know, vision impaired, hearing impaired, you know, the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold should have you covered. All right, now we'll go down to security and privacy. I believe every time you click on this, the phone scans the device to make sure that everything is good, which is why right there it says looks good, but it says checking device settings. For privacy, review app with background location access. And this just shows apps that always have access to your location, like my Canary app. That's the name of my security camera in my house, or one of them at least. And it has access to my location all the time. You know, it knows when we're home versus when we're not. All that kind of thing. You know, if somebody breaks in, you know, we got it set to where to dial 911. We'll be sent notifications, all that kind of thing. So, yeah. So under privacy, all the applications that have access to your location all the time are going to be listed right here. Okay. And then under settings, we have app security, device unlock. That's where we're going to, you know, add fingerprints, face unlock, screen locks, all that kind of thing. Account security, device finders, system and updates, which I've already had 2 updates since turning this device on. Privacy, permission, dashboard, and controls. And then other settings, more security and privacy, autofill, notifications, and more. So if we click on that, then more security and privacy. So notifications on lock screen, show media on the lock screen, allow camera software extensions, personalize using app data, Android system intelligence, autofill service from Google, usage and diagnostics. And then under security, we got extend unlock, Android safe browsing. This is get alerts about threats from dangerous websites. That's what Android safe browsing is. Scanning for deceptive apps, device admin apps, SIM lock, encryption and credentials, trust agents, and app pinning. So you're going to find that under more security and privacy, but all under the security and privacy tab there. Okay. Location. I've got location turned on. We've got app location permissions, location services, and that's all that's there. Safety and emergency. Open personal safety, medical information, emergency contacts, emergency SOS, satellite SOS, car crash detection, crisis alerts, again, all the things that have been torn out of Apple's playbook. Emergency location service, earthquake alerts, unknown tracker alerts, silence notifications while driving, and then wireless emergency alerts. And so, it's good that, phones, they bite off on one another, right? Because that's just a wider range of devices that are going to have these features. And, things happen all the time. I mean, so God forbid if somebody were to get in some kind of accident, if they were to have some kind of fall or something like that, and, be one of those situations, oh, well, if they had an iPhone, then maybe they could have got help a little quicker. Like, no, Apple, they introduced it, and it's good to see that those features are making their way to a broader range of devices. Obviously, this being an Android device, so it's good to see that we've got those features, especially the SOS. If you're, traveling, somewhere, or you got a poor connection, you're on a camping trip or something like that, and you don't have the best reception, but there's some form of emergency, then, that satellite technology may give you the ability to, send an emergency text and reach some folks that you need to reach, call 911, something, you know what I mean? So those features can definitely get you out of a jam based on, the scenario. So it's good to see those features here. When I say, copying and tearing a page out of Apple's playbook, that's not a knock on Google. I'm just saying, it's interesting how, one company introduces it and then all the other companies, they adopt it. You know what I mean? Some of these things that certain OEMs introduce, they want to keep it, exclusive to that particular device, and maybe, I don't know, they'll get a patent for it so nobody else can use it. But, stuff like that. Those things are going to help save lives potentially. You know what I'm saying? So the more devices that these features are on, the better, in my opinion, you see. So that's everything that's under safety and emergency. We've got passwords, passkeys, and autofill. This is just, all your usernames and passwords, for all the different apps and things that you got. That's going to keep a tally on all those things so that every time you log into your favorite apps or what have you, you're not always going to have to manually input your username and password. That can get very, 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 very frustrating. So having your phone memorize those things so that when you go into a website or go into an app that requires a username or a password, then boom, it's going to remember it from the last time, and you should be able to get into it with no problem. All right. Digital well-being and parental controls. This controls the screen time, app timers, bedtime schedules. So if you are monitoring this device for a little one, if you are monitoring this device for yourself, then this is where you will go to get your monitoring on. You know what I mean? So you can give yourself or your kids, whoever this is for, an allotted amount of time to be on their device or have access to certain apps, but at a certain time, cut it off. Give yourself the ability to disconnect, focus on other things besides your phone and social media and notifications and likes and clicks and just everything that having a smartphone at your fingertips entails. You know what I'm saying? Is definitely good to get a break from time to time, because sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. So yes, digital well-being and parental controls is a good way to kind of circumvent that. You see, it keeps a tally on the apps that I'm using the most and how long I've been on those apps. So as for instance here within the circle, it says today 46 minutes. Okay, under settings is blue, and you see the blue is a bigger range of what the usage has been, mainly just because I've been in the settings, you know, recording this content for you guys, so you guys can see what's really up with this phone. But then, you know, other, small percentage, YouTube, small percentage, Google, small percentage, Chrome, small percentage, My Verizon, small percentage. It says sleep better with bedtime mode. Customize your display, automatically turn on Do Not Disturb, and track coughing and snoring during your scheduled bedtime. Not now or learn more. So I will just hit not now. Okay. Then you got view activity details. Okay. So this is where it's going to give you like an itemized, you know, breakdown of how long you've been on whatever app, right? So settings, 31 minutes, My Verizon, 4 minutes, Chrome, 3 minutes, you know, show sites you visited, Google, 3 minutes, YouTube, 2 minutes, Spotify, 1 minute, Bible, 1 minute, YouTube Music, less than 1 minute, Best Buy, less than 1 minute, Amazon Shopping, less than 1 minute, Play Store, less than 1 minute, Epidemic Sound, less than 1 minute. And that was just when I was demonstrating just how the phone performs, and I was just going in and out of apps. You know what I mean? It tracks that stuff. You see what I'm saying? I mean, so, you know, this is, you know, all the things that you're going to find under digital well-being and parental controls. All right. So yeah, then we'll go to Google and just, you know, usual suspects here. Set a home address for your Google account. I'll do that later. But we've got ads, autofill, backup, devices and sharing, find my device, game dashboard, kids and family, and mobile data and messaging, personal safety, personalized using shared data, setup and restore, settings for Google apps. All right, that's what we're going to find under Google. Okay, now backup or copy data. You know, this is, if you want to back up data, you do it here. If you want to copy data, bring data from another device, you do it there. And that's that. All right, system, languages, keyboard, live translate, navigation mode, gestures, date and time, backup, software updates, rules, multiple users, repair mode, reset options. Okay, so excuse me, go to gestures and see what gestures we got. So we got quick tap to start actions. And that's the back of the device. So I have it set to where 3 quick taps on the back takes a screenshot. Okay. Quickly open camera. And that's if you, I believe you double click on the power button. Yeah, to quickly open camera, press the power button twice, works from any screen. All right. And just real quick here. So you see it's going to give you a little demonstration here, and you can choose a few different things. So tap back a phone twice to take a screenshot, access your digital assistant, play or pause media, see recent apps, show notifications, toggle flashlight, or open an app. And if you choose open an app, then you can click on that and hit the little icon there, the little settings icon, and it's going to give you the opportunity to choose whatever app you want it to open. All right, but I want to take a screenshot when I double tap on the back of my Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold. All right, so quick tap strength requires stronger taps, you know, just in case you're taking screenshots accidentally or you're barely tapping the back of the device and it's just pumping away screenshots, then you can hit require stronger taps, so that if you're just lightly tapping the back of the device because maybe you're holding it a certain way and your finger's knocking against it or whatever, you're not trying to take screenshots, but it's happening by accident, then turn that on, and you have to give it more forceful taps so that the phone will know that taking a screenshot is what you're attempting to do. All right, so that's a pretty cool feature there. All right. About phone, we've already gone through all this. Device name, Google account, phone number for SIM slot 1, SIM slot 2, legal information, regulatory labels, limited warranty, safety and regulatory manual, device details, SIM status 1, SIM status 2, model, Pixel 9 Pro Fold, EID, IEMI information, Android 14, let's see, So yeah, the Android version 14, Android security update, August 5th, 2024. So I imagine we're probably going to get another update soon for the security update. Now that we're in September, I don't know if those security updates, if they come monthly or every other month. Then we got Google Play system update. The last one was August 1st of this year, 2024. Yeah. Tips and support. So if you click on tips and support, this is what you're going to get. Check and update your Android version. Change call settings. Manage screen and display settings on a Pixel phone. Make and receive phone calls. Check your phone settings to avoid missed calls. And then it says new to Pixel, explore Pixel tips. And then it says need more help, ask the help community, or contact us, or send feedback. All right, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is everything that we find under the settings menu. Now let's pop into the camera. Now, allow camera to access this device's location. Absolutely not. You see? Okay, try camera shortcuts. Quickly press the power button twice to open the camera, take a photo, press the volume button. Okay, and as I just displayed before opening up the camera, that, yeah, that's how you access the camera quickly. So we'll just hit OK. All right, so photo, night sight, panorama, go back to photo, portrait mode, add me, and let me see, add me. If you don't have a tripod or another person to take a photo of you, add me combines two photos so you can be included. Okay, so that is pretty dope. Okay, let me see, add me. Okay, photographer one, leave space for yourself, take the photo. Okay, so it gives you a little tutorial on how to do this. Just hit OK. And then long exposure adds a creative blur to moving subjects in the scene. Hold your camera still to capture professional looking photos without a tripod. Okay, and then it gives you some samples here of original, and then long exposure, original, long exposure, right? That's pretty cool looking. We'll see if it actually does that. Then we've got original, long exposure for like a train passing by. Yeah, that is that, ladies and gents. And so then we will go to, let's see. All right, so when you tap on the little three lines right here, it's going to bring up brightness. I believe that's got to be the pro mode. Shadow, white balance, focus, shutter speed, and ISO. Yes, that has to be the pro mode controls. All right, so when you open up the viewfinder, by default, you are on 1 times, 2 times, 5 times, and 0.5, which I believe that is 120. Where's that ultra wide? Yeah, it's 127 degree field of view. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty wide. You can get, you know, a lot of stuff in the shot there. Okay, it says macro is on. Tap to learn more. Okay, so we'll tap on that. Macro focus, take detailed close-up photos and videos, move close to the object, and watch as the details come into focus automatically. Tap on the icon to turn on and off. Focus on objects as close as 3 centimeters. Okay, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is macro focus. All right. Pardon me, y'all, I'm delirious, man. So, you know, the little crazy sounding voices or whatever, I'm just trying to get through this thing. So bear with me, all right? Bear with me. We're almost to the end. All right, hold on. Let me get a little sip of water. Whew. Okay, settings. Okay, general and pro. So we have night sight. You know, those of you that are familiar with pixels, you know this, you know the skinny, you know, as it pertains to the Pixel camera, you know the deal. You know what I mean? Okay, we got night sight, auto shot, or top shot. It's on auto by default. Timer, macro focus, which is on auto. Ratio, full image 4:3 by default, or wide crop, which is 16:9. Okay, then we hit more settings, and this is going to take us to, you know, the actual factual. So we have save location, camera sounds, camera scan suggestions, which point your camera to scan QR codes and documents. Okay, palm timer, take a selfie from a distance by showing your palm to start a photo timer. Guided frame, use audio cues, vibrations, and visuals to help frame faces in photos. Button shortcut, volume key action. So you can, by pressing the volume key while the camera's on, it's camera shutter, zoom, volume, or off. Okay, so I'll keep on the shutter. I'll keep that on shutter, which is what it's on by default. Okay. Frequent faces, that is turned off. What is frequent? When you take a top shot photo, when you take top shot photos or touch and hold for a top shot, frequent faces prioritizes the people you photograph most. This helps your camera show skin tones more accurately and recommend the best photos. Frequent faces data is only saved on this device and can only be accessed by this camera app. When you turn off frequent faces, faces data will be deleted. Frequent faces will be available when you open camera from the lock screen. Frequent faces won't be available when saving photos and videos to locked folder. All right, so there is the information you need about frequent faces. All right, device storage. Let me see, and then we have advanced. Show dirty lens warning. Social media depth features, which depth data will be saved. This data may be used by social media apps. Top shot will be turned off and photos may take longer to process. Enable time lapse for astrophotography. Export photo in time lapse uses more storage space. Okay, timer light flashes the back camera light during the timer's countdown. Oh, that's dope. Okay, rich color in photos. Use display P3 color format instead of sRGB. For richer and more vibrant colors. Display P3 may not be visible before the photo is taken or supported on all platforms or apps. Okay, Ultra HDR. Ultra HDR brightens the lightest parts of images and shows more vibrant colors than default HDR plus processing, which that is turned on by default. So that's everything that's under advanced under the settings. All right. So under composition, we've got framing hints, on-screen tips and tools like levelers and focus tips. Yes, I like that. Grid, it's not on. I do want a grid. 3x3 works for me. Hashtag bars. All right, photo, we got camera photo resolution, full resolution or medium resolution, which uses less storage. So we'll go with full resolution, which that's what it's selected by default. And then we have save selfie as preview. Save selfie photos as they appear in the viewer. Yeah, why would I not want that? Okay. Video, we got video stabilization. Reduce camera shake to make videos smoother. Will result in a zoomed in view. Okay. Audio zoom, zooming in on subject boosts sound and reduces background noise. Store videos efficiently. Use H.256 HEVC format instead of H.264 AVC for a smaller file size. HEVC may not be supported on on some platforms. Okay. And those are all turned on by default. And then you got help and feedback, send feedback and help. So those are all the camera settings. I mean, so, you know, this camera is, yeah, it's gonna have you covered. Okay, so let me take a couple test photos real quick. Okay, shutter speed is nice and quick. All right, and that is my gaming chair, and it's all ripped up because my one of my cats, I've got 2 cats, and we're actually getting ready to get a 3rd kitten. Jax likes to come in my office and jump on my chair, and he likes to try to use my gaming chair as a scratch post, or not try to, because it's all ripped up. I don't know if you guys can see the little rip right there, and then all the little nail marks and all that. You see all that? It's insane. All right, so then I will turn the camera around, and again, this is a 10 megapixel selfie snapper, and let me see, get a quick photo with that. Okay. Shutter speed nice and quick. Oh, that's a very nice looking photo right there. Detail, color accuracy is spot on, especially given the light that is in this room, because I've got this white light on and it's super bright, like above me here. Well, actually, it's not it's in front of me, but it sits up pretty high, and that's what's providing, you know, the light in the room. And this light, it's like I think it's like 150 as far as the brightness, or 150 watts. So it's super bright. I only use this light, you know, to record these videos, because the other lights in this office / man cave of mine are pretty dim. But, you know, this light is really bright, and, you know, proper lighting while you're recording content is an absolute must. Yeah, I mean, good looking photo there. And that's really, you know, no surprise. I mean, this being a Pixel device. Yeah, let me see this. Okay, so we have rear camera selfie, dual screen, made you look. Oh, okay. So you have dual screen. So the outer display, you can set that up to where if you're like taking a photo or a video of someone, I mean, and you're holding the camera in this orientation, obviously the person who you're trying to get a shot of can't see what you see here, but they can see on the screen back here that's open, which is pretty dope. Yeah, I mean, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is the camera. The selfie camera is right here in the corner. You can see that little green dot is. That's the lens for that. Yeah, so that's all for the camera sample. Now let's test out these speakers real quick, see how they sound. We do have dual stereo speakers. I'm gonna pop into, not SoundCloud, Epidemic Sound here. Okay, oh, I thought I logged in. You serious? Come on. Okay, log in with Google, Pristine Tech. Okay, boom. All right, let's go to my playlist here. Okay, cuts that need to be uploaded to Filmora X for videos. Filmora X is my editing tool that I use to edit my videos and also to upload them to YouTube. Let's see, it's my favorites. Well, let's see, what's this? All right, so dual stereo speakers. Yeah, we got a speaker up top here, another one down here. Yeah, that's really loud. No distortion. Some stereo speakers, when you turn the volume all the way up, you can hear a little bit of distortion. That's why I don't like playing high volumes for long, because I always feel like I'm going to damage the speakers. But yeah, this seems to be handling just fine. There's one speaker at the top there, and then the other one at the bottom right here. And you hear when I cover one speaker. Yeah, that sounds really good. My goodness, man, I'm just how thin this device is. I swear, Google had to have contacted Microsoft and got the patents for the Surface Duo, man. I mean, the thinness of this device is insane. I mean, yeah. So that's your speaker test, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you know, the sound quality for the speakers, I mean, they sound amazing. I mean, so if you're the type to where you like to, you know, bang music through your phone, then, you know, the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold is they got you covered, man. These speakers, they sound great. Like I said, you saw me turn the volume all the way up. There was no distortion. Everything was nice and clean. The sound was even. It was an even sound, you know, an even sounding sound, right? And what I mean by that, like, it wasn't too bassy coming from one speaker and not the other. Everything was just balanced evenly, and it sounded the way that it should sound. Yeah, I mean, that's the best way that I could describe that. Now, I don't listen to music on my phones. I do, but I'm always got, you know, Bluetooth earbuds in, or, you know, I've got, God, I don't know, I got tons of Bluetooth speakers that I connect to, and I just, you know, listen to music that way. So, yeah, but good sounding stereo speakers there. Okay, so ladies and gents, that's what I'm gonna call this one. You know, if you made it this far in the video, salute. You know, like I said, I try to go through everything just to kind of give you guys a good solid rundown of, you know, the features, functions of this device. You know, run through the settings so you can see, you know, everything that the device has to offer. And all those things, so that, you know, if you decide to commit to this device, which, you know, it is an investment, you know, $2,000. I mean, that's a lot of money for a phone. And so, you know, naturally, if you're spending that kind of money for a device, then you want to make sure that everything is top end, everything's fully functional, all the features, functions, bells, whistles, all those things should be there. And the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold does not disappoint in either category, in my opinion. Now, stay tuned and keep it locked to Pristine Mobile Tech for the full Pristine review. That's going to be coming soon. You know, this is just my first initial thoughts after getting the device out of the box, setting it up, all that kind of thing. My next order of business is to get a case for this bad boy, because I don't rock my phones, especially phones this expensive. I don't rock them booted, bucket naked, you know what I'm talking about? But yeah, I'm gonna get a case on this bad boy, and this is gonna be my daily driver. All my other devices, you know, my iPhone 15, sorry buddy. You know, my Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6, yeah, sorry buddy, you know, sorry, bye, you know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all getting dropped for a moment. You know, y'all getting put on the shelf because we got the big dog in the house. And yeah, that's how I'm rocking. You know, now I'm still trying to decide if I want to. I feel like sometimes I feel like I shortchange you guys, because I don't review every tech piece that I get my hands on, and I'm just a tech connoisseur, you know. And I know I don't upload that often, mainly because of my work schedule and my family dynamic, and just the fact that I'm always so busy. But don't get it confused. Just because I may upload a video or two, you know what I'm saying, every month and a half, 2 months, something like that, right? Don't ever think that I'm out of the loop. I consume electronics on a daily, You know what I'm saying? If it's not just information that I'm taking in, definitely I'm always in tune with release dates for this or that, getting my hands on this or that. So I've got the new Google Pixel Watch 3, the 45 millimeter. I ordered it from Google. It's going to be delivered this week. I believe they set the 12th to the 13th. I do have the Google Pixel Watch, the first gen, but I figured, hey man, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, go big or go home. You know what I'm saying? You got the shiny new, you know, Pixel 9 Pro Fold, basically the Fold 2. You know what I'm saying? You know, they released a new watch with it. You know, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to get the new watch. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be delivered this week. Yes, I'm probably going to do an unboxing and just quick thoughts and impressions on that. I'll pair the watch up with the phone here and just kind of go through some options or whatnot. You know, the Apple Watch Ultra 2 is yeah, the king of the hill. That's the, you know, that's the standard. You know, so much to where, you know, Samsung, they had to come out with, you know, the Galaxy Watch 6 Ultra. You know, another device that's $650. And I think that's insane. But you know, it is what it is. Yeah, and so I want to see how this Pixel Watch 3 45 millimeter is going to fare against the Apple Watch Ultra 2, the new Samsung, even Amazfit, the Amazfit Balance. That is a really, really good smartwatch. I mean, tons of features, functions, workouts, all kinds of stuff. I mean, the Amazfit Balance is a really, really dope watch. And that watch is like a fraction of the cost for, you know, some of these higher end competitors like Samsung and Apple. Yeah, so stay tuned. Keep it locked here at Pristine Mobile Tech. If you like this video, you already know, hit the thumbs up button. Or if you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. You know what I'm saying? I got thick skin, baby. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? But just keep it honest. You know, if you're a fan of the channel, or if, you know, you are viewing my channel for the first time and you like this particular content, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. I've done tons of videos like this one, and I'm going to do tons more. So be sure to hit that notification bell so that you can stay updated of content that I'm going to upload. I was thinking about the word upload while saying updated, and it came out uploaded. Wow. But yeah, so you can stay up queue with more content that I'm going to be uploading to the channel. And, you know, be sure to hit that notification bell so that you can get notified every time videos are uploaded. You can be one of the first to check out the content. Comment section is where I'm always chilling at. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to hit me with some questions, comments, feedback, what have you, hit me in the comment section. The only thing that I ask is that we keep it nice and respectful. Let's talk tech respectfully. Even if we disagree, we can agree to disagree. Sound good? It's all love on this channel at Pristine Mobile Tech. So y'all already know, please stay safe, get spiritually fit. Stop putting off until tomorrow what you can do today. Why? Because tomorrow ain't promised. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow ain't promised. And I'm a living testimony. I got the t-shirt to prove it. You know what I'm saying? I've been brought through so many different trials, tribulations in my life, and I wouldn't be sitting where I sit today if it wasn't for the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? And I know that some of you down in the comments be, oh man, what does your faith have to do with tech? Well, it's my platform, Playboy. You know what I'm saying? So I get to do what I want with my platform. So yes, it's a tech channel, but at the end of the video, if I want to witness to you about the one that's making this all possible, why can't I do that? Why is that such a problem? How come I can't learn you a little something about a cell phone and maybe potentially help save a soul? You see that? See the 2 for 1? You know what I'm saying? A little 2 for 1 special. You know what I'm saying? Get educated on a device that you may be interested in and point it in the right direction, point it towards Jesus. You know what I'm saying? The one who died for our sins, atoned for our sins, and covers us with his blood, his blood and his love, grace, and mercy every day, all day. You know what I'm saying? And even on our best day, we're nothing more than filthy rags before him, and yet and still, all the things that we're not deserving of, he continues to bestow his blessings upon us, all of us. Whether you want to admit it or not, that is the reality, little baby. But y'all mad at me for voicing that. Well, guess what, man? I'm going to keep on voicing it. And if it bothers you so much, then just unsubscribe. It costs you nothing. You know what I'm saying? No harm, no foul. But this is my channel and I'm going to do what I do. You see what I'm saying? And I understand that my content ain't for everyone, and that's cool. I accept that. I want my content to appeal to the masses, but that's unrealistic. But I try to make it as user-friendly as possible so that it can appeal to most. And so if you have an issue with me witnessing about the one who makes this all possible for me and you, then yeah, maybe my platform isn't where you want to be. But I'm not going to stop using my channel to witness about the Almighty who makes this all possible. I'm just not going to do it. So if that ruffles your feathers, then there's plenty of reviewers, influencers, or what have you that are doing this. You can tune into them. You know what I'm saying? Tune into them. You know what I'm saying? But at Pristine Mobile Tech, hey, this is how we roll, man. And I don't hide my faith. You know what I'm saying? I ain't shy about it. I ain't ashamed. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for the Lord and Savior. You know what I'm saying? So, man, y'all already know. Please stay safe, get spiritually fit, keep it pristine, every aspect of your lives. I will catch you in the next video. I'm out.